The 29th of April, 58 BCE, from Cicero to Atticus. I reached Brundisium on April 17th. The same day, your boys delivered me a letter from you, and others brought me a second letter 2 days later. You invite me, you encourage me to stay at your place in Epirus. I am grateful for your goodwill, and I am no stranger to it. Truly, it is the course I would wish for, if I were allowed to spend all of my time there, for I hate crowds. I flee before people, I can barely stand the light of day, and I would not find the solitude bitter, especially in such a familiar location. But, as a mere stopping place on my journey? First, it is out of the way, then it is only 4 days from Atronius and the others, and then you are not there. It would have provided a defensive stronghold if I were staying there, but it is unnecessary if I am only passing through. If I dared, I would make for Athens. There were certainly reasons for me to want to, but as it is, my enemies are there, and I don't have you. And I fear that they will conclude that even that town is not far enough away from Italia. Nor do you write to tell me when to expect you. You implore me to stay alive. While you can hold me back from hurting myself, you cannot stop the pain and regret I feel from deciding to live. For what is there to keep me here, especially if the hope I had when I set out is now gone? I shall not go on to enumerate all the miseries I have faced from the utmost wicked injustice done not by my enemies so much as by those who are jealous of me, lest I awaken my grief and invite you to mourn with me. It is true when I say that nobody has ever suffered a calamity so great, nobody has ever had better cause to wish for death. The most honorable opportunity to seek it has passed me by. For the time that remains, I no longer look for healing, but for an end to my pain. I see you are collecting information about all political goings-on that you think can give me some hope of the situation changing. There is almost nothing, but since this pleases you, we shall wait and see. Likewise, if you hurry, you can still catch up with me, for I shall either approach Epirus or go slowly for Candavia. It is not my inconstancy that makes you hesitate upon Epirus, but that I am uncertain about my brother and where I am meeting him. Although in this state I don't know how to meet him or send him away again. This is the greatest and most miserable of all miseries. I would write to you more often, and at greater length, if my pain had not entirely deprived me of the power to think. And this ability, most of all. I long to see you. Take care of your health. Addendum 1. Cicero feared he would be in danger from Atronius, who was in exile there as a result of Cicero's accusation several years earlier. Once more, you can refer to the prologue of this series. Addendum 2. They are Claudius and his allies, who could interpret the terms of Cicero's 400-mile exile from Roma as preventing him from staying in Athens. Shackleton Bailey explains that the doubt about the distance seems to have lain in whether calculation would be based on the route Brundisium, Dyrrachium, Athens, or on the route Brundisium or Hydruntum, Corcyra, Actium, Athens. The former gives us well over 500, the latter something under 400. Addendum 3. Ugh. Addendum 4, i.e. Cicero's so-called friends who advised him to accept exile instead of attempting to fight when Claudius put forward his first law effectively exiling Cicero, although not by name. Shackleton Bailey thinks Cicero was thinking of Hortensius and maybe Arius, but definitely not Cato. He also adds, it seems unlikely that Cicero's charges were well-founded. Addendum 5. Quintus Cicero had been governing the province of Asia since 61 BCE. So, this one's interesting. It's the longest one so far, and it's the one that's least steeped in the grief that Cicero has about the situation. He still waxes poetic about his depression, I totally understand, but he's more so willing to talk about the politics of it, and the logistics of his route, and the particulars of policies. I don't know, it seemed like this big 2 to 3 week gap was almost necessary for him to kind of collect his thoughts and write something that's a little bit better than a little sticky note that says, I miss you so much, I love you, XOXO. Which could be a good sign for Cicero's mental health. And the fact even when he talks about suicide, he talks about it in a much more Roman way I guess, like, the honor to do so was essentially stripped from him, or Lucrezia in that regard. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where it goes from there. We also have another letter, which will be uploaded separately, but was sent on the same day. This one's actually from Cicero to his family. So we'll kind of see how that relationship is. There have been letters that Cicero sent to his wife before, and of course letters that were sent back from both his wife and from Atticus, but those are lost to time. Otherwise we would have them and be able to research them.